This is a local TTS speed test. Please keep an eye outside while I prepare the next aerial sightseeing suggestion. Thank you for your patience.
Clear prop!
Big Moose Lake. Big Moose Lake is a picturesque glacial lake known for its deep blue waters and surrounding dense forest. It gained historical notoriety as the site of the 1906 Grace Brown murder, which inspired Theodore Dreiser's novel An American Tragedy. The lake was a popular destination for Gilded Age tourists who arrived by rail and steamship. Many historic camps and lodges were built along its shores, preserving a unique architectural style that defines the Adirondack region. Look for a large, irregular-shaped body of water surrounded by dense evergreen and deciduous trees. The lake features several small islands and a distinct shoreline dotted with wooden lodges. Stillwater Reservoir. Stillwater Reservoir is a large, man-made water body created by damming the Beaver River. It features a complex shoreline with many bays and inlets, making it a scenic highlight of the Western Adirondacks. The reservoir was created in the late 19th century to provide water storage for logging operations, and later for hydroelectric power generation. It is now managed primarily for recreational use and environmental conservation. Identify the reservoir by its sprawling, jagged shoreline and the large dam structure located at the western end of the main basin. Big Moose Lake, a picturesque glacial lake famous for its deep blue waters and historical significance in American literature. The lake gained national notoriety as the setting for Theodore Dreiser's novel An American Tragedy, based on the real-life 1906 murder of Grace Brown. Look for a large, irregular-shaped body of water surrounded by dense evergreen forests, with several distinct islands.
Salt Spring Island or Salt Spring Island is one of the Gulf Islands in the Strait of Georgia between mainland British Columbia, Canada, and Vancouver Island. The island was initially inhabited by various Salishan peoples before being settled by immigrant pioneers in 1559, at which time it was renamed Admiral Island. It was the first of the Gulf Islands to be settled and the first
Main
agricultural
Island.
settlement on the
Main
island in
Island
the
is a
colony of
picturesque
Vancouver
island in
Island,
the southern
as well
Gulf
as the
Islands
first
chain,
island
known
in the
for its
region
rural
to permit
charm and
settlers
historical
to acquire
significance as a
land
former
through
hub for the
preemption.
region.
The island was
During the
retitled to its
mid-19th
current
century,
name in
Main Island
1910.
served as a
It is
key
named for the
stopover
salt
for
springs
miners
found in
traveling
the
to
northern part
Fraser
of the
Canyon
island.
Gold Rush. It was named after Richard Charles Main, a lieutenant in the Royal Navy who surveyed the area. Look for a lush, green island with rolling hills and a distinct coastline featuring several small bays and inlets.
Maple Bay is a seaside community located in the Cowichan Valley of southern Vancouver Island, British Columbia, Canada, a narrow inlet and surrounded by smooth, pebbled beaches. Maple Bay is home to marine activity all year round. Maple Bay is a small town with a population of 240. The sheltered haven of Maple Bay is situated halfway up Sansom
Galliano
Narrows,
Island.
which separates
Galliano
Vancouver
Island
Island
is
from
the
Pittsburgh
longest and
Island,
most
the
easterly of the
largest
southern
and
Gulf
nearest
Islands.
of the southern
It is
Gulf
known
Islands.
for its rugged
Maple Bay is
sandstone
serviced by
coastline
float
and
planes,
dense forests.
salt spring air and
Named
harbour
after the
air
Spanish
seaplanes that
explorer
fly regular
Dionisio
scheduled flights
Alcala
several
Galliano,
times a day from
the
Maple
island
Bay
has a rich
Marina
history
to
of
Ganges on
Coast
Salt
Salish
Spring
habitation
Island and
later
then on to
European
Vancouver.
settlement.
There are 3 commercial
Look for
marinas,
a long, narrow
public dock,
landmass
as well as the Maple
characterized by
Bay Yacht
dramatic
Club and the
sandstone
Maple Bay
cliffs
Rowing
along the
Club.
eastern
Maple Bay
shoreline.
Marina is replacing many older boat sheds with new style, fire-resistant yacht enclosures, creating one of the safest and most environmentally responsible marinas in British Columbia. Maple Bay Marina has also been recognised with an eco rating of 4 anchors for their environmental best practices by the Georgia Strait Alliance Clean Marine Programme. Naturally, the world's largest hockey stick and puck is found in, where else? Canada. The Cowichan Community Centre, in Duncan on Vancouver Island in British Columbia, boasts the largest hockey stick and puck in the world. Built in 1985, the 25-foot hockey stick is built from Douglas fir beams reinforced with steel and weighs in at a staggering 60 pounds. The world's largest hockey stick and puck was originally commissioned by the Government of Canada as part of the Expo 86 World's Fair Exposition in Vancouver.
Active Pass. Active Pass is a narrow, winding strait separating Galliano Island from Main Island. It is a major shipping lane known for its strong tidal currents and scenic beauty. The pass was named by the Royal Navy in 1858 after the survey ship HMS Active. It has long been a critical passage for maritime traffic navigating between the Strait of Georgia and the Salish Sea. Look for the distinct narrow channel between 2 large islands, with a prominent lighthouse located on the southern tip of Georgina Point. Burgoyne Bay. Burgoyne Bay is a large, scenic bay located on the southwestern side of Salt Spring Island, known for its protected waters and provincial park status. The bay was named after Captain Hugh Burgoyne, a recipient of the Victoria Cross. The surrounding lands were historically used for farming and logging before becoming a protected park. Identify the bay by its distinct U shape carved into the southwestern coastline of the island, flanked by forested slopes.
Kinsale Trestle, also known as the Coxella River Trestle, is a wooden railway trestle located on Vancouver Island, north of Shawnigan Lake, in British Columbia, Canada. It is a crossing of the Coxella River. Description: the bridge's dimensions measure 44 metre high and 188 metres long, making it the largest wooden trestle of the Commonwealth nations and the highest railway trestles. It was constructed out of old-growth Douglas fir timbers and has an unusual 7-degree curve.
Main Island is a charming rural island in the southern Gulf Islands chain, known for its rolling hills and historic lighthouse. Historically, the island served as a key stopover for miners heading to the Fraser Canyon Gold Rush in 1858, and later became a hub for agricultural development. Look for a lush green island mass characterized by small coves and a distinct lack of high-rise development. Sydney. Sydney is a charming seaside town located on the Saanich Peninsula. It serves as a major hub for ferry traffic and local maritime activities. Originally settled in the late 19th century, Sydney grew rapidly due to its strategic location on the Salish Sea. It has evolved from a small agricultural and fishing community into a vibrant residential and tourist destination. Identify the town by the dense cluster of buildings, the large marina, and the ferry terminal infrastructure along the shoreline.
Saanich Inlet is a long glacial fjord separating the Malahat Range from the Gowland Range and separating the Saanich Peninsula from the rest of Vancouver Island. It is widely recognized as the southernmost glacial fjord on the west coast of North America. It is notable for being quite deep compared to the surrounding Salish Sea, descending to over 700 feet in depth. It is home to fragile and threatened glass sponge reefs that may have been alive for up to 15,000 years. The mountains on the east side are protected by Gowland Todd Provincial Park, while the west side of the inlet sees extensive development along the Malahat Highway. The inlet is crossed in the northern part by the BC Ferries Brentwood Bay to Mill Bay route and is busy with pleasure craft in the summer.
Commercial and general aviation traffic. Originally established as a Royal Canadian Air Force station during World War II, the airport has evolved into a modern facility. It remains a key site for aviation history in the Pacific Northwest. Identify the airport by its prominent intersecting runways and the large terminal building complex located on the flat terrain of the peninsula.
Malahat Skywalk is an accessible scene feet tree walk through a beautiful arbutus forest leading to a spectacular, gentle spiral ramp that takes you up 32 feet to a sightseeing lookout offering views of Finlayson Arm, Sarnish Peninsula, Mount Baker and the distant coast mountains. The views from the top are spectacular with Salt Spring Island to the north, along with other Gulf islands, and Mount Baker seems to be within touching distance on clear days. There is a prime view of the Mill Bay Ferry.
pretty hard.
Main Island Water Aerodrome, a small, scenic water aerodrome located in Miners Bay on Main Island. Established to serve the local community and tourists visiting the southern Gulf Islands, this facility has been a vital link for floatplane traffic for decades. Look for the floating dock structure and the small terminal building located directly on the shoreline of Miners Bay. Musqueam-Ketchikan Management Area. The Musqueam-Ketchikan is a massive wilderness area known as the Serengeti of the North. It features diverse ecosystems, including alpine meadows, deep valleys, and significant wildlife populations. Established in the late 1990s, this area was protected to balance industrial development with environmental conservation. It remains one of the largest intact wilderness areas in the Rocky Mountains. Look for vast, undulating mountain ranges, characterized by deep green valleys and jagged, snow-dusted peaks.
Kachika River Valley. The Kachika River is a major waterway flowing through a deep, glacially carved trench in the northern Rocky Mountains. It is a vital corridor for wildlife and a stunning example of tectonic valley formation. The valley has served as a natural transportation route for indigenous peoples and early explorers for centuries. It remains one of the most pristine wilderness corridors in North America. Look for a wide, flat-bottomed valley floor, flanked by high, jagged mountain ridges. The river itself appears as a winding, light-colored ribbon of water against the darker forest canopy.
Muskwa-Kachika Management Area. This vast wilderness area is known as the Serengeti of North America due to its immense biodiversity and pristine landscape. It spans millions of hectares of mountains, valleys, and forests. Established in 1997, the area was created to balance industrial development with environmental conservation. It remains one of the largest intact wilderness areas in the world. Look for expansive, untouched valleys flanked by jagged limestone peaks and dense coniferous forests. The area is defined by its lack of human infrastructure.
Finley River. The Finley River is a major waterway in British Columbia, flowing through a deep valley carved into the Muskwa Ranges. It is a significant tributary of the Peace River system and serves as a vital artery for the local ecosystem. The river was named after John Finlay, a fur trader with the Northwest Company who explored the region in 1797. It has historically served as a primary route for indigenous peoples and early European explorers navigating the northern interior. Look for a wide, winding river valley cutting through the dense forest, often appearing as a silver ribbon against the dark green landscape. Mount Lloyd George. Mount Lloyd George is a prominent peak in the Musqueam Ranges of the northern Rocky Mountains. It is known for its dramatic glaciers and rugged, high-altitude terrain. Named after David Lloyd George, the British Prime Minister during World War I, this peak has long been a landmark for explorers and mountaineers in the remote northern Rockies. Look for a massive, glaciated peak rising significantly above the surrounding ridgelines. It stands out due to its distinct icy cap and steep, craggy faces.
Finley River. The Finley River is a major waterway in northern British Columbia, flowing through a deep valley before feeding into Williston Lake. It is a vital artery for the region's ecosystem and historical fur trade routes. The river was named after explorer John Finlay, who traveled the region in the late 18th century. It served as a primary transportation corridor for indigenous peoples and early European traders navigating the interior. Look for a wide, winding riverbed cutting through the valley floor, often flanked by dense coniferous forests. The water may appear dark or reflective, depending on the sun angle.
Futade Lake. Futade Lake is a large, remote lake located in the Amaneka Mountains. It is widely considered the primary source of the Finlay River, which eventually flows into the Peace River system. The lake was historically significant to the Sakani First Nations people who inhabited the region. It gained further recognition in the 20th century as explorers mapped the headwaters of the Finlay River. Look for a long, narrow body of water oriented roughly northwest to southeast. It stands out against the dark forested slopes and rocky peaks surrounding it.
Thutade Lake. Thutade Lake is a significant body of water located in the Omanika Mountains, widely recognized as the ultimate source of the Finlay River, which eventually feeds into the Peace River system. The lake gained historical prominence as the starting point for the exploration of the Finlay River Valley, serving as a vital landmark for early fur traders and surveyors navigating the rugged interior of British Columbia. Look for a long, narrow, glacial-fed lake nestled deep within a steep-sided mountain valley. The water often displays a distinct turquoise or deep blue hue, depending on the light.
Nice wilderness.
Thutade Lake. Thutade Lake is a large, remote lake in the Omanika Mountains, known as the primary source of the Finlay River. It is a pristine wilderness area surrounded by high peaks and dense coniferous forests. The lake was historically significant to the Sakati people and later became a focal point for early explorers and prospectors in the region during the 19th century. Look for a long, narrow body of water oriented roughly northwest to southeast, nestled deep within a valley surrounded by steep, craggy mountains.
Kames Mine. The Kames Mine was an open-pit copper and gold mine, located just northeast of the foot of Thutade Lake, at the head of the Finlay River, in the Omanika Mountains of the northern interior of British Columbia, Canada. It was operated by Royal Oak Mines from 1998 to 1999, when it was bought by Northgate Minerals. Northgate operated the mine until its closure in 2011. That year Northgate was taken over by Orico Gold. In 2014 Orico Gold partitioned off its portion of Kames Mine ownership, creating a new company called Orico Metals. Orico Metals was acquired by Centera Gold in January 2018. The deposit mined was a copper-gold porphyry. Over its life the mine produced approximately 3 million ounces of gold and 800 million pounds of copper too. The mine is serviced by Kames Creek Airport and the Omanika Resource Road from Prince George. Air distance from Smithers is 280 kilometers, approximately due north. Road distance from Prince George is approximately 550 kilometers. Near the mine is the Kames Underground Project, also owned by Centera Gold. This separate deposit is currently in the development stage, and has not been approved for production.
Mount Lloyd George. Mount Lloyd George is a prominent mountain peak in the Musqueam Ranges of the northern Rocky Mountains. It is known for its impressive glaciers and rugged, snow-capped summit. Named after David Lloyd George, the former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, the peak was officially recognized in the mid-20th century as part of the regional mapping efforts. Look for a massive, glaciated peak rising significantly above the surrounding ridgelines. It stands out due to its distinct icy cap and steep, craggy faces.
Kenneth Mine. Kenneth Mine. Let's find the Kenneth Creek airstrip. That isn't too hard to find.
Thutaday Lake. Thutaday Lake is a large, elongated lake located in the Omanaka Mountains. It is widely recognized as the ultimate source of the Finlay River, which eventually feeds into the Peace River system. The lake was historically significant to the Sakani people who inhabited the region. It gained further attention in the 20th century as explorers and geographers mapped the headwaters of the major river systems in northern British Columbia. Look for a long, narrow body of water, oriented roughly northwest to southeast, nestled deep within a valley surrounded by steep, forested slopes.
Prop fuel pump on flaps 1 or flaps 10. Nice location. Flaps 20. Fuel pump is bloody loud. Pretty good. There's too little drag in these flaps. You will float all day if you come too quickly. Kenneth Creek airstrip, Canada.
Clear prop.
Clearwater Air Park. Clearwater Air Park CAK2 is a small, public-use aerodrome serving the local community and visitors to Wells Gray Provincial Park. The airfield was established to provide essential aviation access to the North Thompson Valley, supporting both local commerce and emergency services. Look for a single paved runway oriented roughly north-south, situated on a plateau overlooking the river valley.
Never seen that. This is some witchcraft. There is almost none of p-factor or torque roll in this plane. The flight model is super simplified, should I say. No rudder. You can fly like this super easily. No torque, no yaw, nothing. Right. Keep fuel pump on, flaps 1. Or flaps 10. Flaps 20. Flap. This plane is super floaty. Got that the log is ascending to heaven like nothing. the dev said he fixed this.
Cassis Inlet. Cassis Inlet is a deep, narrow fjord that cuts into the western coast of Vancouver Island. It is known for its dramatic steep-walled
Was,
mountains
also
and
commonly
calm,
known as Was
protected
Lake
waters.
after the
The
nearby
inlet
lake
has
of the same
historically
name,
served as a
is a
vital
small
waterway
village
for the
in the Nimkish
Bowatchat/Mutchalot
Valley,
First
located
Nations and later
75
became a
km
hub
47
for
miles
the logging
southeast of
industry in
Port
the
McNeill
mid-20th
and
century.
128
Look for a
km 80
long,
miles
winding
north
body
of
water
Campbell
flanked
River
by
on
high
Highway
forested
19
peaks
in
that
northeastern
appear to drop
Vancouver
directly
Island,
into the sea.
British Columbia, Canada. The estimated population of Was and the Nimkish Valley is 200. The town of Was lies about 3 km north of Was Lake, a long, narrow lake stretching about 10 km in a primarily north-south direction with a maximum width of about 1 km, the southern portion of which is part of Was Lake Provincial Park. Was is a member municipality of the Regional District of Mount Waddington, which also includes Alert Bay, Port Alice, Port McNeill, Hyde Creek, Coal Harbour, Holberg, Malcolm Island, Quatsino and Port Hardy. Was has regular telephone service and acquired cellular phone services in early 2016. Was had one elementary school for many years that was closed up after its 2015-2016 school year until the mid-1960s. Was was accessible only by rail from Beaver Cove on the Inglewood Railway. During this time, most of the loggers were housed in bunkhouses heated with wood-fired steam. One of the original steam-powered locomotives is currently used as a working tourist attraction. Nearby Was Lake is the main summer recreational playground for Was residents, and the original community campground at the lake is now Was Lake Provincial Park. Tage Wickstrom, the school principal until his death in 1986, built the only 440 dirt oval track and field on the North Island at his school in Was. For many years, Was Lake School hosted all of the track and field competitions for School District 85, which included communities from Was to Port Hardy. The track and field are now known as the Tage Wickstrom Track and Field in honour of the educator who built them. Geology. Was is on the dividing line between a pluton of Jurassic granodiorite and a massive Triassic basalt. Mountains to the north are basaltic, while ranges to the west, south and east are mostly granitic. Official deposits in the community are coarse with abundant gravel and stones. Climate. Was has long summers that tend to be hot and dry. During the summer months, Was averages 15 to 25 days, with temperatures exceeding 30 degrees Celsius, and is often a hot spot on Vancouver Island along with Port Albany and Gold River. Heat waves throughout July and August last between 3 to 4 days with temperatures that soar between 35 and 40 degrees Celsius. Winters are relatively short-lived, mild and wet. The average daytime high in winter sits between 4 and 12 degrees Celsius. Was receives the most precipitation in the month of November, measuring around 220 millimeters. Snowfall usually occurs in late February and early March. During the 2009 Pacific Northwest heat wave, Was and the Nimkish Valley set their hottest temperature on record, reaching a scorching 42.1 degrees Celsius on the afternoon of July 30, 2009.
This plane is so easy to fly. I don't like it. The Cessna 180 by Shell is much better flying wise. Okay, let's get down. On touch and go and then to Sandpoint, the big airport.
Pandaray River. The Pandaray River is a major waterway flowing north from Lake Pandaray. It is a vital feature of the local geography, carving a deep valley through the surrounding mountains. The river was named by French-Canadian fur trappers who observed the local indigenous people wearing large shell pendants in their ears. It has played a critical role in regional transportation and hydroelectric power generation. Identify the river by its winding path and the distinct contrast of the water against the forested valley floor.
Flaps 10. Flaps 20. Get rid of that fuel pump. I'm not on VATSIM right now. First time visiting this place is basically. We do want that some go here as well.
Sandpoint Airport. Sandpoint Airport, KSCT, is a public-use airport serving the city of Sandpoint and the surrounding Bonner County area. It is a vital hub for general aviation in the Idaho Panhandle. The airport has served the region for decades, facilitating both commercial and private aviation access to the recreational opportunities of Lake Pandaray and the nearby Selkirk Mountains. Look for the paved runway aligned roughly north-south, situated just west of the Pandaray River outlet.
Flaps 10. weird LOD issue with the lights.
The Pandore River is a tributary of the Columbia River, approximately 130 miles long, in northern Idaho and northeastern Washington in the United States, as well as southeastern British Columbia in Canada. In its passage through British Columbia, its name is spelled Pandore River. It drains the scenic area of the Rocky Mountains along the US-Canada border on the east side of the Columbia. The river is sometimes defined as the lower part of the Clark Fork, which rises in western Montana. The river drains an area of 66,088 square kilometers, mostly through the Clark Fork and its tributaries in western Montana and including a portion of the Flathead River in southeastern British Columbia. Native people who lived along the river included the Pend-d'Oreille and Kalispel. The name Pend-d'Oreille or Pendore is variously stated to mean earring, hang from ears, or shape of an ear.
Watch how much she floats. Okay, of the Olmsted Sky Ranch.
Sandpoint Airport. Sandpoint Airport is a public-use facility serving the city of Sandpoint and the surrounding Bonner County area. It is a vital hub for general aviation in the Idaho Panhandle. The airport has served the community for decades, providing essential access to the mountainous region. It has seen various upgrades to accommodate increased traffic and regional tourism. Look for the paved runway aligned roughly north-south, situated just west of the Pandore River outlet.
Damn, I didn't activate the scenery for this. Okay, fly to Kevanock Bay then. Look at the RPM. That's crazy. What a monster. This plane seems to be a bit broken.
Schweitzer Mountain Resort is a ski resort in the northwest United States in northern Idaho,
Sandpoint Airport.
11 miles
Sandpoint
northwest
Airport
of Sandpoint,
serves as the
located in Bonner
primary
County in
aviation
the
hub
Selkirk
for
Mountains.
the Bonner County
It overlooks
region.
Lake
It is
Pend
situated
Oreille
on
to
the
the
northern
southeast
shore
with
of
views
Lake
of the
Pend
Bitterroot
Oreille. The
and
airport
Cabinet
has
Mountain
long-supported
ranges.
regional
The ski
aviation,
area is
including
approximately
firefighting
45
efforts and
miles
general
south of the
aviation
Canada-US
access to
border.
the rugged
Schweitzer
Idaho
Mountain has a summit
panhandle.
elevation
Look
of
for the paved runway
6,400
strip
feet above
located
sea
just
level with a
south of the
vertical drop
city,
of
bordered by the lake to the
2,440
east.
feet. There are 92 named runs and open bowls on Schweitzer's skiable area of 2,019 acres, served by 10 lifts. The average annual snowfall is over 300 inches.
Sandpoint Airport. Sandpoint Airport is a public-use facility serving the northern Idaho Panhandle. It provides essential access for general aviation and regional transport in the area. The airport has served the Sandpoint community for decades, evolving from a small landing strip into a vital hub for local aviation and emergency services. Look for the paved runway oriented roughly north-south, located just south of the main town area near the water. Kootenai River. The Kootenai River is a major waterway that winds through the rugged terrain of the Idaho Panhandle. Serves as a vital ecological corridor and a stunning visual landmark for pilots navigating the valley. The river has historically been a primary transportation route for indigenous peoples and early fur traders. Its name is derived from the Katuneks, a people who have inhabited the region for thousands of years. Look for a wide, meandering river channel cutting through the valley floor, reflecting the sky against the surrounding dark forest canopy.
Right.
Bonners Ferry. Bonners Ferry is a charming town nestled in the Kootenai River Valley, serving as the county seat of Boundary County. It is known for its rich history as a river crossing point and its proximity to the Selkirk and Purcell Mountains. Originally established as a ferry crossing by Edwin Bonner in 1864 to serve miners heading to the Kootenai goldfields, the town grew into a vital transportation hub. It has maintained its historic character while evolving into a gateway for outdoor recreation. Look for the distinct cluster of buildings situated along the banks of the Kootenai River, surrounded by dense forest and steep valley walls.
Roger.
Priest Lake, Idaho, United States is located in the northernmost portion of the Idaho Panhandle. The primary lake, Lower Priest, is 19 miles long and over 300 feet deep. Upper Priest is connected by a 2.5-mile thoroughfare to Lower Priest. The first white settlers arrived in the early 19th century. These early settlers were mainly fur trappers who quickly established trade with the native Kalispel tribe. Jesuit priests would eventually settle the lake in the 1840s and establish a big camp at Kalispel Bay. One of these priests, Father Pierre-Jean de Smet, a native Belgian who had escaped from European persecution and became the most trusted of the white men among the Western Native Americans, named the lake Rusan Lake for one of his superiors in Rome. The name would not stick though, and in 1865 Captain Jimlin, a U.S. Army captain who was traveling through the area under orders to build the Mullen Trail from Walla Walla, Washington to Fort Benton, Montana, after the discovery of silver in the central Idaho mountains along what today is the route of Interstate 90, would rename the lake Connexo. Connexo is believed to be the native word for black robe, and because of the Jesuit presence, the lake was later named Priest Lake. Priest Lake has a pristine variety of wildlife both in and around the lake. The standard bear, deer, and moose population that can be seen throughout northern Washington and Idaho is present about the lake, as well as a small population of grizzly bears. Priest Lake also has a large population of fish, including cutthroat trout, kokanee, lake trout, and Dolly Varden trout. The largest lake trout caught in the United States was caught at Priest Lake by a Spokane, Washington man, Lyle McClure, in 1907 and weighed 57 pounds. 8 hours. The average lake trout ranges weighs in between 4 and 10 pounds.
She's not super tracky. I will speed up like crazy while going down. Look at this. Let's try that again. I'll try to do a proper spot landing this time. It is difficult with this plane. submarine. Float and float all day. The floater. Let's watch at the replay soon. I'm coming in super shallow angle, but the airspeed was super steady, even at low power. Right. Let's go to England.
Allington Castle. Allington Castle is a stunning stone-fortified manor house situated on the banks of the River Medway. It features a moat, gatehouse, and extensive gardens that reflect its medieval origins. Originally built in the 13th century, the castle has undergone several transformations, including a major restoration in the early 20th century by Sir Barton Conway. It has served as both a defensive fortification and a luxurious private residence throughout its long history. Look for a distinct stone structure with prominent towers and a surrounding moat nestled in a bend of the river. The grey stone walls contrast sharply with the surrounding lush green vegetation.
This looks nice. Flaps 10, fuel set. Let's go. This actually has some torque in the engine. Right, rather from the get-go. We seem to have some wind as well. Let's check out this random airstrip first. Not much to that airstrip. Should be able to follow some railroad tracks for the funnel. I ever flew the railroad. Or is it this main road? Probably. Go full flap. Already a massive amount of difference in the drag. Touch and go. Let's go. This is a proper plane. Flies much nicer than the 185. Okay, I'll do high track approach to full stop this time. Just the visual of the airfield. There it is. Okay, wolf flap. Let's track her in. Trying to do a spot landing. Landed on a spot here. Let's watch at the replay. Nice. I totally meant to do that. Okay, the replay. nice drag from the big flaps.
Lindybourne Opera House, a world-renowned opera house situated in the heart of the Sussex countryside. The venue is famous for its high-quality productions and beautiful landscaped gardens. The opera house was established in 1934 by John Christie and his wife Audrey Mildmay. It has grown from a private theatre into one of the most prestigious opera venues globally. Look for large, complex estate buildings surrounded by extensive manicured gardens and lakes. It is nestled in a valley, distinct from the surrounding agricultural fields.
I'm gonna flood that Kitson field just off to the northwest. Gas prop mixer. I think we are good. Let's go. This tailwind stuff is stupid. Whoa. This plane has actually some torque and yaw effects compared to the 185, which is the default one. Let's do some touch and goes first. Flaps 20. Bleed off the airspeed by a massive slip. Whoa, 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 whoa. No one saw that. Flap 10. The crosswind component is pretty massive as well. Let's do 3-point landing this time. Flap 20. Only gonna go to flap 30 because of the crosswind. My ground speed is like 20 knots. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I did land in a massive crab. Okay, let's go to the Kitson field off to the northwest.
Lawton, East Sussex. Lawton is a village and civil parish in the Wealden district of East Sussex, England. The village is located 5 miles, 8 kilometers, east of Lewes, at a junction on the minor road to Hailsham, B2124, It appears in the Doomsday Book, and there are Roman remains nearby.
What is this Doomsday Book? Flap 20. Never been to this airfield. Kitson. I'll let the wind push me to the center line.
The Lindyborn Opera House, a world-renowned opera house located within a historic country state. The site is famous for its annual summer opera festival. The opera house was established in 1934 by John Christie and his wife Audrey Mildmay. It has grown from a small private theater into a major international cultural venue. Identify the large, modern opera house structure nestled within the expansive gardens and parkland of the Glyndebourne estate.
This runway is not even. Okay, let's fly back to the starting location. Not much to see here. We are off to the Deanland. The runway is fucked. But it crashed like on that famous video. Wait a second, should I lock the tail wheel? Oh yeah, you cannot do that in this model. This is so fucked. Flaps 10, flaps 20. You should dip your wing like this to see the traffic possible on downwind. Flap 3. Much better. Not too much crap this time.
Eastbourne Pier. Eastbourne Pier is a historic pleasure pier extending into the English Channel. It features Victorian architecture and remains a central hub for the Eastbourne seafront. Opened in 1870, the pier has survived fires and wartime damage. To remain a beloved local landmark, it was designed to provide a grand entrance to the seaside resort for Victorian visitors arriving by boat. Identify the long, narrow structure extending perpendicular from the beach into the sea. It features distinctive white and blue buildings at the seaward end.
Right. Alright, off to the next one. Perhaps I'll go to VATSIM.
Sutter Buttes, often called the world's smallest mountain range, the Sutter Buttes are the eroded remnants of a volcano that erupted millions of years ago. They rise abruptly from the flat floor of the Sacramento Valley, creating a striking contrast to the surrounding farmland. The Buttes were formed approximately 1.6 million years ago during the Pleistocene epoch. They have been a significant landmark for indigenous peoples and early settlers, serving as a prominent navigational aid in the valley. Look for a circular cluster of jagged, rocky peaks rising sharply out of the flat agricultural plains. They are easily identifiable as the only significant elevation change in the immediate vicinity.
What is this?
Starting pre-flight checklist reader initialization. Preparing the Beechcraft Piston Duke checklist now. Let me know which checklist you'd like to start.
Perform pre-flight checklist.
Pre-flight checklist, reading aloud. Pre-flight inspection, complete. Locks and covers, removed or checked. Flight controls, free or checked. Chocks, removed or as required. Cabin door, latched or closed or checked. Nose baggage door, latched or closed or checked. Weights and fuel on electronic flight bag, set or checked. Landing gear, down. Engine, avionics and electrical switches, off or set. Oxygen pressure between 1550 and 1850 pounds per square inch, checked. Circuit breakers, all in or checked. Intercooler air, off or set. Cabin pressurization shut off, open or set. Alternate static air, normal or set. Carbon monoxide detector, tested or checked. Cabin temperature mode, off or set. Flaps, up or set. Propeller synchronizer, off or set. Throttles, closed or set. Propellers, high RPM or set. Mixtures, full rich or set. Trims, centered or checked or set. Fuel selectors, on or set. Pre-flight checklist complete. Next checklist on the schedule seems to be the before engine start checklist.
Perform before engine start checklist.
Before engine start checklist, reading aloud. Parking brake, set or on or as required. Beacon light, on or set. Battery master, on or set. Bus voltage volts minimum 23, checked. Fuel quantities, checked. Annunciators tested and considered, checked. Boost pumps tested and off, checked. Flight recorder and other apps, confirmed. Before engine start checklist complete. The engine start checklist would be next on the list.
Perform after engine start checklist.
After engine start checklist, reading aloud. Boost pumps on when ambient above 32 degrees Celsius, verified. Exterior and interior lights, set or as required. Weather radar, standby or set or off or as required. Avionics, on or set. Inverter, main or set. Inverter light extinguished or checked. Cabin temperature mode, set or as required. Mixtures leaned for taxi, set or as required. Navigation, set. Transponder, mode Charlie or altitude or set. After engine start checklist complete. Possibly next comes the run-up checklist.
Select the full length.
Awareness. Say status report for a compact briefing of last, current, next and after next. Ask where are we now to hear the current section. Say what items are still open to list remaining open items if available. Ask what was completed last to hear the last completed section. Say what is next, and after that to look ahead. Call the next 3 previews the next 3 sections. Just so.
I'm now on VATSIM. Yeah, this fuel pump is fucked.
Climb checklist, reading aloud.
Stop
Gear and
checklist.
flaps, up. Which part of the checklist do you want to run? Still can't hear you.
Run up checklist.
Run up checklist. Parking brake. Acknowledged. Cockpit window closed. Connecting to simulator. Simulator connection established. Got it. Annunciators tested and considered. Got it. Remote compass slaved and aligned. Check. Fuel selectors crossfit.
Set.
Boost pumps.
Set.
Mixtures full rich.
Stop checklist.
Copy, checklist stopped. Understood.
Perform before takeoff checklist.
Warning. The user interface has stopped responding.
This program is broken.
Before takeoff checklist, reading aloud. Flaps, approach or set or as required. Simulator connection disabled. Trims, set. Mixtures set for maximum power, set. Engine and battery temperatures, checked. The user interface is responding again. Battery charge light extinguished or checked. Boost pumps, on or set. Air conditioning, off or set. Weather radar, standby or set or off or on or as required. Ice protection panel, set. Lighting, set. Before takeoff checklist complete. Next checklist on the schedule seems to be the climb checklist.
Oroville traffic Duke, November 4, Papa India departing 13 are left crossing departure to the northwest Oroville.
Mic off.
Let's go check out the Oroville Dam.
Mic on. Alright.
Perform climb checklist.
Command not recognized. Please try again. Very good.
Perform climb checklist. Climb checklist.
Climb checklist. Gear and flaps.
Set.
Engine instruments.
Oroville Dam. The Oroville Dam
Checked.
is an earth-fill embankment dam on the Feather River. It is a massive engineering feat that stands as the tallest dam in the United States. Construction began in 1961 and was completed in 1968. The dam faced significant challenges during the 2017 spillway crisis, which led to major infrastructure upgrades.
Propeller
Identify
synchronizer.
the dam by the large, light-colored embankment wall and the adjacent concrete spillway structures. It sits
Warning.
at the base of a large
The user
reservoir.
interface has stopped responding. Lights. Correct. Boost pumps. Copied. Cabin temperature mode. Check. Cabin altitude, differential, and climb. Done. Good to go. Checklist complete. Next checklist would be the cruise checklist.
Perform cruise checklist.
Oroville Dam, Butte County. MSFS Enhanced Point of Interest. Oroville Dam is an earth-fill embankment dam on the Feather River east of the city of Oroville, California, in the Sierra Nevada foothills east of the
Cruise
Sacramento
checklist.
Valley.
Reading aloud.
At
Engine
770
instruments,
feet
checked.
high, it is the
Ice
tallest
protection,
dam in the U.S.
set.
and serves mainly
Fuel
for water
imbalance within
supply,
25 gallons,
hydroelectricity
checked.
generation, and flood
Cruise
control.
checklist complete.
The dam
The
impounds
following
Lake
one
Oroville,
appears to be the
the
descent
second
checklist.
largest man-made lake in the state of California, capable
Oroville
of storing
Dam.
more than
Oroville Dam is
3.5
the
million
tallest
acre-feet.
earth-filled
Built
dam
by
in
the
the United
California
States,
Department
standing
of
at
Water Resources.
770 feet.
Oroville
It
Dam is one
creates
of the
Lake
key features
Oroville,
of the
a
California
massive
State
reservoir
Water
that
Project,
serves as a
one
critical
of two major
component of the
projects
California
passed that set
State
up
Water
California's
Project.
statewide
Completed
water
in
system.
1968, the dam was constructed to provide flood control, water storage, and hydroelectric power. It faced significant challenges during the 2017 spillway crisis, which led to a massive reconstruction project to ensure long-term stability. Look for a massive earthen embankment spanning the Feather River Canyon. A large concrete spillway is a distinct feature on the hillside adjacent to the main dam wall.
Mic off.
I'll try to follow this railroad to the Yuba City Airport. Oscar 52. That's the level of my planning.
Oroville Municipal Airport. Oroville Municipal Airport OVE is a general aviation facility serving the city of Oroville and surrounding Butte County. It features a single paved runway suitable for light aircraft. The airport has served the local community for decades, supporting both private aviation and emergency services, including aerial firefighting operations during wildfire season. Identify the airport by its single long runway oriented northwest-southeast, situated just west of the city of Oroville. Oroville Municipal Airport. Oroville Municipal Airport OVE is a general aviation facility serving the city of Oroville and surrounding Butte County. It features a single primary runway suitable for small to medium aircraft. The airport has served the local community for decades, supporting agricultural aviation, flight training, and private aircraft operations. It remains a vital hub for regional aerial activity. Identify the airport by its single paved runway strip oriented roughly north-south. It is situated just west of the city of Oroville, surrounded by open fields.
Kilo Mike Yankee Victor automated weather observation 1200 Zulu. Wind 137 at 6. Visibility 10. Sky condition few clouds at 4900, ceiling 14,200 broken. Temperature 22.
Yuba City. Yuba City is a major agricultural hub located at the confluence of the Feather and Yuba.
Kilo Mike Yankee Victor automated weather observation 1200 Zulu. Wind 137 at 6. Visibility 10. Sky condition few clouds at 4900, ceiling 14,200 broken. Temperature 22C, dew point 9er C, altimeter 29er 85. Kilo Mike Yankee Victor automated weather observation 1200 Zulu. Wind 137 at 6. Visibility 10. Sky condition few clouds at 4900, ceiling 14,200 broken. Temperature 22C, dew point 9er C, altimeter 29er 85. Kilo Mike Yankee Victor automated weather observation 1200 Zulu. Wind 137 at 6. Visibility 10. Sky condition Few clouds at 4,900 ceiling 14,200 broken. Temperature 22C dew point, 9er C, altimeter 29er 85.
Mic on. Speak now. Which checklist should I read? I think your microphone is muted. Command not
Perform
recognized.
descent checklist.
Please try again. Go ahead and name the checklist section. Descent checklist, reading aloud. Cabin altitude, goal destination altitude, set. Navigation, set. Ice protection, set or as required. Cowl flaps, closed or set or as required. Cylinder head temperature 125 minimum with max delta of 33 Celsius per minute, verified. Descent checklist complete.
Sutter County traffic. Duke
We are
number
likely
4
continuing
Pavova
with the
India
approach
is
checklist.
6 miles to the north, turning left downwind
Warning.
435.
The
Yuba
user
City.
interface has stopped responding.
Sutter County traffic.
Command not recognized. Please try again. I see. The user interface is responding again.
Perform approach checklist.
Approach checklist, reading aloud. Cabin altitude, differential, and rate, checked. Cabin temperature mode, off or set. Fuel selectors and imbalance, checked. Lights, on or set or as required. Windshield and prop heats, off or set. Altimeters, set. Mixtures set for maximum power, checked or set. Flaps, approach or set or as required. Approach checklist complete. Up next could be the landing checklist.
Yuba City, Sutter County, California. This is a Microsoft Flight Simulator enhanced point of interest. Yuba City is a city in Northern California and the county seat of Sutter County, California, United States. The population was 64,925 at the 2010 census. Yuba City is the principal city of the Yuba City Metropolitan Statistical Area, which encompasses all of Sutter County and Yuba County. The metro area's population is
Sutter County traffic.
160,138.
Duke Pavova India left downwind 35 Sutter County. Sutter County traffic, Duke, Pavova, India, left best to final, 3-5, Sutter County. Perform landing checklist.
Landing checklist, reading aloud. Gear, down. Flaps, approach or set or down or as required. Prop high RPM, set. Prop synchronizer, off or set. Lights, on or set or as required. Cabin differential 0, checked. Boost pumps, on or set. Landing checklist complete. Possibly next comes the after landing checklist.
Sutter County traffic, Duke, Pavova, India runway vacated. Sutter County.
Observation 1200 Zulu. Wind 137 at 6. Visibility 10. Sky condition. Few clouds at 490014. 200 scattered. Temperature 22C. Dew point 9er C. Altimeter 29er 85. Kilo Mike Yankee Victor automated weather observation 1200 Zulu. Wind 137 at 6. Visibility 10. Sky condition. Few clouds at 490014. 200 scattered. Temperature 22C. Dew point 9er C. Altimeter 29er 85.
Now this is gonna be interesting. If I wanna take the runway 14 at Yuba County, I would probably have to depart northbound from Sutter County. Yeah, I'll do that. Perform turnaround checklist.
Turnaround checklist, reading aloud. Flaps, approach or set or as required. Trims, set. Engine instruments, checked. Turnaround checklist complete. Up next could be the climb checklist.
Perform before takeoff checklist.
Before takeoff checklist, reading aloud. Flaps, approach or set or as required. Trims, set. Mixtures set for maximum power, set. Engine and battery temperatures, checked. Battery charge light extinguished or checked. Boost pumps, on or set. Air conditioning, off or set. Weather radar, standby or set or off or on or as required. Ice protection panel, set. Lighting, set. Before takeoff checklist complete. Up next could be the climb checklist.
Sutter County traffic, Duke, Papa India departing 35 right crosswind departure. Zoning left downwind for Yuba County, Sutter County. Yuba County traffic, Duke, Papa India is 3 miles to the north, zoning right downwind for 1-4 Yuba County. I think that went wrong. Perform climb checklist.
Climb checklist, reading aloud. Gear and flaps, up. Engine instruments, checked. Propeller synchronizer, on or off or set or as required. Lights, on or set or as required. Boost pumps, off or on or set or as required. Cabin temperature mode, set. Cabin altitude, differential, and climb, checked. Climb checklist complete. Next checklist on the schedule seems to be the climb checklist.
I think this went horribly wrong. There should be left traffic on 1-4.
Command not recognized. Please try again. Alrighty.
Perform approach checklist. Yupacounty traffic Duke Papa India turning left downwind for 1-4 Yupacounty.
Approach checklist, reading aloud. Cabin altitude, differential, and rate, checked. Cabin temperature mode, off or set. Fuel selectors and imbalance, checked. Lights, on or set or as required. Windshield and prop heats, off or set. Altimeters, set. Mixtures set for maximum power, checked or set. Flaps, approach or set or as required. Approach checklist complete. Next checklist on the schedule seems to be the climb checklist.
So close to busting the Beale Air Force Base airspace. Yeah, you should keep this highway as a reference.
Command not recognized. Please try again. Just so.
Perform landing checklist. Perform landing checklist.
Landing checklist, reading aloud. Gear, down. Flaps, approach or set or down or as required. Prop high RPM, set. Prop synchronizer, off or set. Lights, on or set or as required. Cabin differential 0, checked. Boost pumps, on or set. Landing checklist complete. Next checklist might be the climb checklist.
Yupacounty traffic Duke Papa India left base to final 1-4 touch and go Yupacounty. Flaps approach power.
Command not recognized. Please try again. All right, MH.
Opacity traffic. Duke Pava India on the departure leg, joining left crosswind 4 downwind, 3 for opacity. Perform landing checklist. Opacity traffic Duke Papa India left best to final 35 full stop opacity.
Landing checklist, reading aloud. Gear, down. Flaps, approach or set or down or as required. Prop high RPM, set. Prop synchronizer, off or set. Lights, on or set or as required. Cabin differential 0, checked. Boost pumps, on or set. Landing checklist complete. The climb checklist seems to be next. Stop checklist. Command not recognized. Please try again. Say the name of the checklist section you want.
You pass the traffic, Duke, Pavova, India runway vacated. You pass city. Perform after landing checklist.
After landing checklist, reading aloud. Ice protection, set. Flaps, up or set. Cowl flaps, open or set. Cabin altitude, differential and climb 0, checked or set. Cabin pressurization mode dump, set. Weather radar, standby or set or off or as required. Lights, set or as required. Boost pumps, set or as required. Cabin temperature mode, set or as required. After landing checklist complete. The climb checklist seems to be next.
Perform shutdown checklist.
Shutdown checklist.
Alright, that's it for now. I have to take a break. See ya soon. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.